Okay.
You missed the shut the door, dude.
Last time it was
Not a
loud,
rule,
but
6 o'clock, I will call the meeting to order. Yeah, since it's on the agenda, we're gonna ask if someone would approve the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Lovely.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The agenda is approved. Do we have any public comment? All right. Am I not speaking loud enough?
Just in case, we've been hearing that sometimes it's a little difficult in these rooms
Okay.
to hear. So
Usually I
so
get
this is, we got this new speaker and then that one too.
Oh, lovely. The library needs those as well. That's
Yeah.
the word.
No.
So I will treat them.
That's
Yeah.
Charlie, Charlie is up.
Lovely. Welcome, Charlie. Oh, I guess that we should take attendance.
just a camera.
So we have Charlie. And we have Shannon,
Like this, we go around.
if you'd like.
All right. Shannon Knight, Vice Chair.
Vicky Olson, member.
Bojino Chair.
Ken Wyatt, member.
Charlie Anderson, member.
Welcome, Charlie.
Mary
you.
Baumgartner, council liaison.
Charlie, we've noticed you've been missing a couple of the past meetings. We still wanted to confirm that you still want to be a part of us.
Yes, apologize for that. It's just been a really busy summer.
I understand completely. Well, welcome. We will keep you with our party. So that means that we only have one vacancy. That means that so I've confirmed it. Do I need to let the city recorder or anybody know that we have a vacancy, or is that something Danielle or you will do, or how do how do we proceed with that?
Well, can I ask you, what are we looking to announce the vacancy and then fill the vacancy at the same time? Is this?
It's on the website.
That we are looking for someone?
Oh, it is.
Well, so it has all of our names and it has vacancy.
Okay,
So it's listed as.
So-
But is it on the website to apply?
yeah. Do we know if there's any applicants that are on hold wanting to join, or is there anybody, that sort of thing? So,
It's a rolling deadline.
no, it's a vacancy that
Whenever you, yeah.
expires in,
Let's let people know.
at the end of next year. So there's another year and a quarter left on that term.
Okay, okay. If there's any action items from this meeting that maybe need to come out of it, but I'll have to return back with some guidance on that.
Okay.
I couldn't fully answer that question, the process for that. but
Okay,
If there's something here that you guys want to, have us look into or something, we can do that in prep for the next meeting and then maybe have more info on that.
okay.
If that,
I can, yeah, do we, gonna ask for a motion?
It's on there. If you go to apply, it's there.
Okay.
I think the only thing, like, I'll share that on social media and stuff in the city.
Yeah, please, yeah, and send them to the CCI website on the city, and I can poke around as well. If we have anybody.
yeah, actually, if there was somebody being removed, there might be a semi-formal process.
Nobody removed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
They just resigned,
Sure.
and so we want to replace them, and it's been empty for a while now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we were busy with things and didn't realize it.
It might just be a matter of getting the word out.
Okay,
You know?
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's some, yeah.
All right, I know how to handle that. So, public comment, we said that, and seeing none online and seeing none in the room. Hey. No worries.
Say that you're here, so for the record. Oh, it's not that. Oh, shut off.
All right, well, saying no public comment, I guess we can proceed to the special meeting recap and next steps. Before we jump too far into that, I want to apologize for how I said some of the things that I said during that meeting. It may have been a little bit harsher than I meant to be. However, I do stand by my comments. I could have been a lot more, softer. So with that, we can, proceed.
You want to recap for
Help.
people who are not here?
Yeah, basically, I think that y'all know that I had, proposed that I would go to the NAP meeting that they had in, I want to say August, it might have been July. And I would talk to them and kind of prepare them that we would be coming to them and wanted to schedule a, co-meeting so that we could, address the president before going to the individual association. To put it mildly, that meeting did not go well. Yeah. It did not go well. I was belittled and made to feel unwelcome, and I was made to feel like I was wasting their time. I was told that by the president of the President's Association, if that is actually his position, I don't believe a vote has ever been held for that, told me that, I want to make sure I get this right, that they did not need help recruiting people to the neighborhood associations, that they were doing just fine, and that they did not need help instructing people on how to present to the city because everybody who wanted to present to the city already knew how to do it. And I threw up my hands and said a line from a movie that I will not say now. But basically, they didn't want any help, so why would I help them? This was not the feeling of all of the individual neighborhood associations, however. This was just the feeling of the person in charge of that meeting. And I had at least 2 people, possibly 3 people come up to me, neighborhood association presidents, to say, our association wants to participate. So I arrived, there was a meeting that was held the Friday before our special meeting. That was with, it was supposed to be Councilor Baumgartner, Councilor Bonington, and the NAP president, and city staff. I was invited to attend. Shannon was also invited to attend.
I didn't see that invite, so.
Oh, okay, no worries. At the last minute, I was told it was canceled because no one had responded. And about 20 minutes, 30 minutes into what would have been the meeting, I was informed that it was actually in progress because people had shown up. I did not see this until an hour and a half later, and so I did not attend the meeting. The outcome of that meeting, and I would defer to Danielle if she were here, was that we should pivot. Now you're seeing where my references came in.
All right.
And move, instead of helping the neighborhood associations, to work more towards emergency preparedness and that sort of thing. And so then we had our special meeting on Tuesday where we discussed this, and we pretty much agreed that we didn't want to pivot. That just because this person didn't want us to participate didn't mean that we should throw out the whole plan that city council had given us and pivot to this. That
It has nothing to do with.
has nothing to do with community.
That's what we were, I want to throw out.
On CCI, and you can't just decide that we're going to pivot and do this because who the heck are you? Now, I'm trying to be soft again with my wording. And so we kind of agreed, the 4 of us who were here, that we would continue with our plan of working with the neighborhood associations to increase their members and help people know that they exist and follow what city council asked us to do. And if that meant that we bypassed the NAP meetings and the NAP president, fine. We will go to the individual meetings.
Work with the ones who want it to
Individual
work.
neighborhood associations and work with the neighborhood associations that want to work with us. And the ones that don't, well, okay,
We can still let their neighbors,
exactly,
know they exist.
exactly. We will still send people to your meetings, whether you want us to send them there or not,
Go to your-
because this is what the city is.
Stifle
and
voices. because-
We are of the belief that the more people who participate in our democracy, the better off we are. So,
Basically, we don't want to be bullied into saying the public doesn't have a right to come to your meeting.
exactly, exactly. So in sum, would you say that wraps up, that's a recap of our meeting? So we left there pretty much recharged in going forward with what the city council asked us to go forward.
We also added, I guess, we made a little bit of a pivot in that we were going to focus on not only neighborhood associations, but also
Here's, here's,
advisory
yeah.
groups.
This is our letter. I mean, excuse me. I have made some copies of the letter that we sent so we could, review it and then look at what city council, you need one. Okay. And, kind of come up with a game plan.
We have the actual work plan though?
Yeah, that's what this is.
Is that the one? I thought that was the one we sent to them.
No, I've got both.
When I looked at the memo, this is from city council.
Correct. Correct.
So that's a work.
So this is the work plan.
And so, since we have not had a chance to actually review and, what the city has asked us to do, we figured this would be the first thing that we should do before, proceeding.
So now we're talking about the work plan.
So now we are moving on to item number 5, the work plan review. Unless anybody has any objection.
And so looking at this work plan, I do think that we're on the right path with what we talked about the last meeting and where we want to go. Like I said, the only thing we added, which may not be on here, oh yeah, sort of, is part of it, the way we said that we would kind of maybe go about it is this just be outreach to the community on how, all the different ways they could get involved in the city, with neighborhoods being one of them, and that the community advisory groups as well as the second way to get involved. So basically, those two things, and so number 5 on this work plan does say have, sure that all CAGs are working together, doesn't necessarily say that, but I don't think they'll have a problem now. That if in our outreach to say how to get involved, we include the community. I just lost it.
Advisory group.
Advisory. So the tags, that's the way to get involved.
And along those lines, one of the things that I've kind of been trying to spearhead is, just as you have an NAP meeting every now and then, why don't you have a CAG chair meeting every now and then so you can all interact and let each other know what's going on and how you can help each other? And how this came about in my mind was as I was sitting in the arts and culture meeting, and they were talking about a booth at the Wednesday market so the kids could do art. Great idea. What if we worked with them, distract the kids while we talk to the parents? And, but without any communication, how do you make that happen? You know, so that's something that I would love to see as a part of this. You know, the people talking is always a positive. I think.
Yeah.
So, how do we proceed?
So based on your interaction, and if you look at the proposal, or you see bullet points that are gonna be a problem based on the reaction that you had as far as your goals?
No, because if your neighborhood association doesn't want to be involved, that doesn't mean that we're gonna say, if someone comes up and says they're in there, we're gonna be like, oh, well, we're not helping you. No, we're gonna tell them, all right, so this is your neighborhood association, this is how you get involved, this is who you contact. Because we don't care whether you want to be involved with us, we're still gonna send people to your meeting. Because we're about community involvement, I mean, it's right in our name.
So
And it's not
would
just-
you see like the host joint CCI and the
That's not-
association president?
That will not happen.
Okay, so
Well-
that will be-
I don't know. I mean, we could invite the ones who want.
I don't know how I do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
we can just say, we can just dedicate one of our meetings and just say, you know, if you guys want to come to our meetings, this is what we'll be discussing. And if you
I mean,
guys want
it's
to-
easy to clean all of their emails. They're all on the website. So we can send out an email and say, we would like to invite you to one of our meetings. If you want to join us, join us. If you don't, fine, you know? And it just becomes a matter of who sends that out. And I'm wondering, I think that has to come from Danielle, or I don't know.
I feel like the invite should come from the chair of the CCI too, because you're talking about engaging with a neighborhood association. And you want them to maybe come speak and answer questions.
Interact, I guess would be a better way. I don't necessarily want them to
Yeah.
speak or take questions. I want them to come and interact with us.
I feel like because it's this committee's agenda, it would be sort of your responsibility to engage whoever you would like to come here. It could be, you know, a kids clown presenter if you wanted them to come here.
Okay.
But you could reach out to them.
On the agenda.
Yeah.
Of a meeting.
Yep.
And just say, we're
Yeah.
discussing this at our meeting and invite the representatives of the neighborhood associations.
And that doesn't necessarily even have to be the presidents. It could be anyone from
No,
the
yeah.
board, the neighborhood association board.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a formal process for that, for just putting something on the agenda. It's just if you knew somebody and you're like, oh, they have some info we could, you know, digest.
Okay.
I think it's just a matter of inviting them and putting them on the agenda.
To give them, do it with enough lead time that they are gonna have a meeting before this meeting that it would occur, and then they'd be able to talk to amongst themselves and decide who they want to send or what they want to talk about.
I had always envisioned this happening in January or February because, you know, it's kind of October and November are a little too soon, not giving enough lead time. December is going to be a cancel. I'm almost 95% sure. And so
Especially when we meet. It's like,
exactly. So, January might be too soon, although January I might not be here. But January or February for the agenda item, and we just can put that out early. Yeah, we can just get word of mouth, you know. So,
Okay. We could add that to our work plan, say. I think it'll be just build an outline on what we want to do the next several months.
exactly.
Towards this plan.
If-
Because we know we're not going to be able to do like the in-person engagements. And the farmer's market comes around next year or whatever. So we have like plenty of time to like
Exactly.
work on the plan.
Exactly. And I think we just need to do, all right, by here, we should be here, by here, we should be here. And so I think right now we've got January, February for a semi-dedicated in a CCI meeting. Okay,
I think it'd be better than some of this, maybe city project outlook, or even the line about we hope the CCI continues to find new ways to engage, well, broad range of community members. I would love to know what those projects are and what, like, I feel like we all have different networks we could tap into.
and that's one of the reasons that, I think that the CAG chair meeting is good, because I know through my involvement with the Utility Advisory Board that they're looking at not necessarily a rate increase, but a restructuring of how your utilities are charged. There are things that are in the works there that are gonna need our involvement to help sell to the city as a whole. You know, I know that because I sit on that committee. I don't necessarily know what transportation is because I sit on that committee, et cetera. So it's hard for me to, I think it's hard for all of us to know what. Like those.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a transportation project or whatever, I mean, all members are either a church or community groups that we could.
Exactly, I mean.
But I don't know what that is.
Off the top of my head, you know, I know that the Utility Advisory Board is going to be proposing something soon.
Yeah.
I know that we have a, structure being built, but I can't think of what the hell it's called, off of Salama there, the,
Let's see.
Public Works Building, yeah, the Operations Center. You know, I don't think that the, rec center has ever fully gone away, you know? There's discussions about what's potentially gonna happen with Oppenlander. Is the city gonna get involved there? Is there gonna be money involved? So just off the top of my head, that's what I know. You know, I think we can work with,
Which reminds me, to that respect, since we are part of the broader ways to get involved, we should also be telling people like how to sign up for the city newsletter and stuff, so they can get those updates.
exactly, which is,
Oh, Charlie. Spell it? Oh,
It just-
that pops up sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
no, I lost my train of thought. What were you just saying?
That we should tell people how to sign up for the.
Oh,
newsletter.
exactly. And along those lines, you know, I was talking with Danielle about, you know, QR codes where it's like, oh, you need to sign up, go here. It's,
Yeah, man.
yeah, you know, make it easier for things like that. And along those lines, it was brought up during the Utility Advisory Board, the guys, the Phantom guy who I thought was in this meeting all that time. The construction project in his neighborhood was going a lot longer than it was supposed to, but they got no updates. Take a QR code that sends you with updates to a site, you know, something like that. So that's something I've talked with Danielle about. It's a much broader discussion as well. But I agree, it falls into that area of communicating.
Yeah, and when we started the waterfront planning, we first had the consultants for that project. They gave us an example of software that because I did the Vancouver one, and when I looked at like the city of Vancouver's website on that, I mean, they had everything in this really nice software that is like, person asks a question of a pothole or something like that, and they click on it, and then it shows all of the requests for that and where it is in the queue, and it was pretty amazing. I was like, wow. Now I understand it's probably very expensive software in a much bigger city.
And we have one person handling our communications, you know.
But yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal, is like get to the point where you could just find whatever free thing is going on and click on it, and there's a whole list that'll answer all your questions.
I thought we had an app or something. Where we could-
We do.
Submit issues, I think, on the app.
Yeah.
I think it tells you fast.
Yeah, I mean, and that's goes to a bigger issue is, you know, yes, it'd be lovely if we had all of this communication, but we don't have the money or the staff to do all of that.
Although I do think it would save staff a lot of time if they didn't have to answer the question
It's
20
that,
times.
but it's that front loading of time that, gets freed up later that, nobody has that front load of time to handle that. So that's, I'm not making excuses, but I guess I am, but.
No, I just mean that there might be software that's just like logging software. You just log it and then it's there. It's not.
I wonder if there's a way that you could do a feed where it's, well, then you get into who's sending feeds through there and monitoring and what Big said. I take everything I just said back.
I just think
No.
that ideally that there are these things out there.
It gets pretty pricey. That's really good apps. when you're after that.
Yeah. So I don't think we have any answers in that regard.
No,
One of the other, do we want to move on to the homework? Because that's kind of where we're at, is mapping out what our next steps are. And so, item number 6, one of the things that we discussed on, last Tuesday was, just homework and spending the week on ways that we can move forward with our plans and that sort of thing. And with that being said, Shannon did some chat GPT AI analysis, I guess is the word that you would use. And she came up with a very preliminary list. Now, a lot of things on here we're not going to be able to do, so just keep that in mind.
yeah, I didn't put it in this. I
yeah.
just printed
We
what
just-
chat told me.
But it's a starting point, that we can jump from and proceed. So, and I was rather busy the whole time since last week, so I did not do much homework. Dick or Holly, were you able to come up with some?
Since last week.
I'm not. I neither did I, so thank you, Shannon, for.
Yeah, it generally only took me like 3 minutes. I just put all the data in there and then chat and did the work.
So this kind of sets out a month by month schedule. Now, there are some things that we are not allowed to do, like create. And so we'll just cross that one off right there and just forget that we even thought about it. You want to go through this?
Yeah, I didn't really look at it that deeply. Just print it off, but I mean, we could come up with a title though. We don't have to create a logo, but we could come up with like, what are we calling this campaign?
Catchphrase.
Gosh, I don't think I had. I did. This is the Westland Connected. That's what ChatGPT decided to call it. Your voice, your neighborhood. See, he came up with a tagline and everything.
Love it. I mean, I think Westland Connector, I mean, that's not really more complex than that.
If anyone else has other ideas, I like that. Or connected.
Was this homework roundup sent out via email?
It was not, my apologies for that.
Okay. Just
It
checking.
wasn't an official assignment, so you will not be graded and it will not be. held
Okay.
against you.
Okay.
So I don't want to halt the discussion here, but maybe want to agendize this at some time. If you wanted to refine this and then officially talk about this at another time, this could be a good item to do a deep dive on for another.
Take notes.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, it'd be helpful to know from Danielle on the city side, like some of this, would make sense for us to do, or it's already being done by the city. Have a better idea of what the lane is.
Could we go through and cross out things that we should not be looking at? Or
maybe that's the ultimate intent. And if you wanted to do a little bit tonight, it's just because it wasn't officially agendized. You know, it's kind of, we're in this gray area right now.
Well,
So-
it is, because it's item number 6, which is our homework roundup. And this is part of our homework roundup.
No, I understand. I'm saying, but this document that
The
we're looking
document
at
was
right now.
added to the.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to halt the progress we're making here. That's all,
So-
just for a later day.
Well, then this was just like a rough draft, but I think we could walk through it and then put the draft
The revised version on it.
on the next.
Charlie has a
agenda
question?
To discuss.
Go ahead, Charlie.
She probably can't see it.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
I'll try and get it to you here.
probably have it. Do you have it in an email you could forward?
I don't, I mean, I do, but it's in a folder on my laptop.
I sent it to
Yes,
My apologies for breaking the rule.
you.
So what did we want to do tonight? We wanted to look at this or just put draft on it and then we're gonna do it the next meeting?
We'll just put like an actual draft to approve next week.
Exactly, and we'll go, and I think the one thing we do need to do is make sure that we cross out the things that we're not allowed to do.
Okay. So will you take care of that?
I'm crossing things, yeah.
You,
crossing out.
okay, thank you.
I'll share my screen up here so that Charlie can see it while discussing it. And then if you want to bring it back, we can put it on the agenda and have the document there at the next meeting, whichever one it is.
Just it doesn't, like it's money spent email, it's just.
Can you forward it? Sometimes it'll say.
See it in. It's giving me like that. Shame.
AGUD. EJ. What's the word?
It's my. Business account, so that's what we have. Sit up here. Oh.
Okay, can you see the document now, Charlie? Is it on your
I can
screen?
see it, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
give more details now on what he specifically said we weren't allowed to do?
No, she just said like, we can't create a logo and we can't create, we can't send out social media and, but what I said to her about that stuff was, let's say we create this whole plan. Can we then go to council and say, this is our plan? And can you have city staff send out these social posts?
Okay,
We can't have staff produce stuff, city council and staff.
I get
So-
that. We can come up with the messaging.
Yeah.
And then we just have to go and ask permission for staff to send out the messaging. Okay,
Yeah, I would think you could do that. I mean, the logo, I don't think you could probably do, but
we're not.
Yeah, we don't even do one.
the messaging.
But I really like the messaging, the whole, did you know you're already a part of a neighborhood association, you know?
So yeah, so like that, like we can't do a city newsletter feature or whatever, but again, we could ask for whatever.
Well, I mean, if we write the article, we couldn't do it.
Yeah, because staff has to still take the time to do it. So we
We can write everything up.
We can write
Do
everything up.
everything,
You can
draft
draft it.
already, exactly,
Yeah, if they
exactly.
may want to change it.
So yeah, and like we can't enhance the city website or anything.
And truth be told, it's already been enhanced in ways that we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I
I mean, we can do stuff again, like ask for a better map or something like that, that shows the neighborhood. I mean, I think there's workarounds.
It's, enter your address,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
could just have these as suggestions. Not
Yeah.
like they have to be done, these would be suggestions.
but as far as the messaging toolkit, we can come up with that and we can use that to go to the neighborhood association because that doesn't
Yeah.
involve anything.
Yeah.
But us.
Yeah. And I just, said, come up with like a 6-month plan. So, but like I said, I did deeper dive today into stuff that we could get into if we want to create our agenda for like how we're gonna go about working on this for the next month. And so some of the things I had AI do that we could, put on the agenda for the next couple of months was, looking at the actual setup of how the neighborhood associations are in the code. Which you brought
Uh-huh.
that. So we could get that. We can look at how other cities are run. That was the other thing that gave me like several other local cities. How their neighborhood associations are, and it actually gave me research into how people feel about the neighborhood associations in those cities. We could not find enough information for West Lynn to give an opinion how West Lynners felt about their neighborhood association.
That's funny because it seems like everyone in West Lynn has.
Right.
So, are these all documents that we should, kind of collect and put on?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna, it's a lot of stuff to go through, so maybe we say we do this next meeting and then I can give you all of that.
And we can just put it on as attachments to the, agenda and that way it's all done properly?
Yep.
Okay,
Then had some sample messaging ideas and.
well, it sounds like we're not gonna be able to do a whole lot today, but, know that we want to amass some documents and paperwork that we want to review. We want to agendize and review at the next meeting. And that goes for pretty much everyone. If you come across some documents you want to add to this and have us review, just, get those to me and I'll make sure they get added or agendized. So we do this all properly.
Just so that whatever's being discussed is on the agenda.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm an indie filmmaker. I fly by the seat of my pants and do things I'm not supposed to and ask for forgiveness,
There's a little leeway, and sometimes you gotta
I
put it
have,
out there.
I have footage in a film from LAX. I have no permission to shoot it at LAX. Funny, the security guard looks right at the
Yeah,
camera.
and even wrote up a cert, so if we wanted to do like, ask if they could do a survey, or we could survey people that come into the booth. If we have a booth, we can give them a little survey that they can fill out on a little card and put it in a thing. So AI gave me a bunch of questions for survey.
Now, if we wanted to, each come up with like 5 survey questions that we could discuss, how do I go about doing that?
You create these things and then it's a matter of how you would like to distribute them. I think that's the intent of the whole thing.
Okay,
What are the questions and then how are we going to, is it at a booth? Is it through the website? Is it door to door? I think that's the,
Neighborhood Association.
yeah.
going to the actual meetings and saying, here's some surveys, fill them out, We won't judge you on your handwriting skills. So is that something we all want to come up with, a handful of questions that we would want to see on the survey or?
Yeah, can you
information
decide what you want to do for next month? Like what part of these things you want to prioritize for next month?
And then come up with questions.
Well,
Come up with what we're going to focus on for the next meeting. Well, I think that reviewing your documents is important because it gives us some focus. Do you think? So we want to put that on the agenda and maybe do survey questions for November?
okay.
Yeah. that'd be good.
That gives you extra time to think about and, 5 or 6 questions that, because here's the
I'll
thing.
just send the one sheets, because like I said, it says, do you want me to create a one sheet PDF for everything that tells me? So I can send the one sheets, because they just summarize everything.
And
I
then
have
that sounds great. And then we can.
the whole thing, we can just discuss in the meeting, like
And
the
it-
bullet points that didn't include.
Exactly. And I think one of the things we decided on the survey was that we want to keep it to very, very short. We don't want to.
Yeah, I think it was a 5 question
Yeah,
survey
totally.
that it gave me.
Because if I had to click on another page,
Somebody's taking it.
I think it was 5 questions that they gave me, and the sample survey they gave me, was like 5 questions.
all right, and then
And
we.
they were all like, check a box kind of thing.
Exactly, make it easy, multiple choice, But I know that there were concerns with certain other surveys that have been done recently, although non-scientific, but they were leading in their questions or gave false equivalencies. Would you
That's
rather,
always a problem.
would you rather be in a train accident or a bus accident,
That's always a problem.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that we can do it in a way that they're as objective as possible, I guess is what I'm.
We also make sure like the city's not doing 3 other surveys at a time. So we don't overwhelm people with it.
And again, I don't think we can do it through the city without getting permission, so it would have to be what we do.
Exactly, it would be.
Boots on the ground.
Very informal,
Yeah.
monkey poll or whatever that's the one.
But I don't even know if we could do a survey. I think that would be permission. I think it would be paper,
Going to NA meetings,
fold it up, put it in a box.
fine, old fashioned.
Because we can't involve city staff. And I don't think we can put up a survey monkey as this group. That would be,
Crossing a line. Well,
Be
this time I
reflective.
am on my back. I get it. All right. Okay, so we'll focus on yours for October, and then we'll focus on the survey for November. And then we can focus on messaging for January and a NA meeting in February. That
Good.
gives us prep time.
Yeah.
Before we ask the NAs to join our meeting to discuss.
Mhm.
And, you know, share our surveys.
Well, the survey I don't think we'll be able to get out until we are, well, we can share them with the neighborhood associations,
Exactly.
but I don't think we'll, until we start getting into the farmers markets and stuff.
No, exactly, but we can show them what we're,
What we're thinking.
what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And see
Show
if,
them the whole plan.
see if we've missed anything or if we're covering things that they don't need answers to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think maybe shoot for like March for like presenting the whole plan to council or something. So that they have time to, March or April, I guess, so that,
Maybe April to give the NAs 2 months to attend, so that they get 2 chances.
so that,
to-
because the farmer's market's gonna start mid-May. So we want to make sure we have the permission to start going and doing this stuff.
Okay,
by
so,
May.
that sounds like a plan. I can write this all up and, work on agendas with Danielle, so. Any other, comments, questions, or thoughts?
See Shirley anymore.
Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, good.
No comments.
All right.
I'll get through this document though, for sure.
And you'll work on your 5 questions.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Anyone else have anything for homework agenda item 6? If not, we can move to staff updates.
So we kind of talk about the things.
Yeah, we talked a bit about it, but,
Yeah, I'll be sure, I'll reach out to Danielle to sort of see if there's a formal process to go that, is required to fill a vacancy. And then, it might even be this week, if it's just to get the word out and see who applies. It might be as simple as that. If not, then there might be a little bit delay in that. I doubt it is. I bet it's just, put the word out there and hopefully get some applications and maybe you review them here at the meeting together. It's probably how it
council.
works.
yeah, we
Council.
get to the council.
Council gets to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my apologies. But yeah, I bet it's a process like that.
Yeah, you don't want me judging people. I kid. Although I don't see anybody here who made the rapture, so.
Yeah,
Then again, if you did, I wouldn't see you. So,
yeah, so I think, I could have some feedback for you
Okay.
this week on that to see the process and get that vacancy filled,
Okay.
hopefully into summer.
it's summer passed yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
So sad.
and then just a reminder, I know you know this, just to send Danielle, you might need I think it's 7 days the agenda is released for, might be 10 days, but just the documents you're speaking of,
Yeah.
just have those two
Yeah.
are, before the meeting so that it's on the agenda.
Yeah, we should be able to get those in the next week or so.
Yeah.
I'll have those before she gets the minutes, I can guarantee it. If nobody has anything else, it's not time for a Slurpee, but it's 6:50 and we can adjourn.
In the neighborhood, where did it talk about quorum? Isn't that what we have issues?
They talk about quorum in the,
For our group or in the neighborhood association? All the neighborhood associations have their own bylaws.
In their bylaws, exactly.
Because they're all, some of them are messed up, aren't they? They
Yeah.
need to have like, put your mouse or.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we're
Good night.
But we have changed them.
Thanks, guys. See you next month.
Thanks, Charlie.
But
Okay, bye.
Suggest.
when we wrap
See
everything.
you later.
up,
Chip.
We can make a thing, council saying, these are suggestions. that we think.
That's good, right?